Ascension football tournament action. We've got two big crackers for you here on Sportsmax. Coming up, we've got Police FC. They're going to be taking on Real Westford, and after that, the home team, Timonix Larkita Rangers, they're going to be coming up against Central Soccer World. Brent Sancho is alongside me, former TNT and World Cup defender. It is rainy, it is wet, but you enjoy these conditions.
Yeah, certainly enjoy these types of conditions, as of course we see 32 degrees Celsius, but as you rightfully would have mentioned, James, it has been raining here in La Horquita. Beautiful skies, of course, our viewers are seeing, but certainly not what we've witnessed before the start of this production. It had a bit of downpour here at the La Horquita Recreational Facility. Still, however, James, it is the type of environment that you want to play in as a footballer. It's one of those situations, of course, as I take a little closer look at the field for our viewers, it's one of those situations where we talk about the Bermuda grass. It has rained heavily here, which makes it nice and slick, of course, for the ball to be playing through quite well. It's a type of condition, of course, conducive to good football. And two games here, mouth-watering games. I expect a lot of goals here tonight.
Well, if nobody ever told you, you'd make a good cricket commentator. But coming up, our first match this evening, of course, Police, they're going to be coming up against Real Westford. But, of course, the big match at 8 o'clock, the home team, Timonix Larkita Rangers, coming up against Central Soccer World. That match promises to be a cracker. They're flying, Timonix Rangers.
Yeah, they're certainly flying so far. Of course, perfect so far during their first game, scoring 11 goals against a Maruga outfit. I expect more goals here tonight. They would expect more goals. They have rotated their squad, which would suggest to me that this is a very deep Timonix La Horquita Rangers team, and expect to run deep into this tournament. Tonight's victory, or if they are to win tonight, this would push them further ahead in the table, and certainly they would look to try and get all 3 points.
We'll come back to Central, but first, just a few minutes before our first match, and Police coming up against Real Westford. Police are in third position at the moment. Real Westford, they sit in sixth position. Interesting contest.
Yeah, certainly an interesting contest. Of course, Police on the weekend pulling off a victory against the much fancied Canupia FC, which of course would have pushed them up the table. Tonight's assignment for the lawmen is simple one. All 3 points against a resurgent Real Westford team. We've seen a lot of changes within their lineup. We've seen a lot of course, new faces, but I expect still this to be a cracker.
Well, we had an opportunity to speak to Real Westford earlier on, and here's what they had to say. We're here with Real Westford manager Gordon Pierre. Gordon, it's been a rough start for your team, but you seem to have bounced back really well.
Yeah, well, we lost the first game 4-1 against Canupia, giving up 3 easy goals, but we bounced back fairly well, winning our second game and just losing out, I should say, and winning our third game by getting 1 point against Central FC.
Looking at your team, your lineup seems to have, been shifted somewhat. Have you settled on a squad yet?
No, we haven't settled a squad yet. We are, the start of the season was rushed upon us, so we still have guys coming in. Today we have Guy Gifford Jr. He's going to be making his debut in the top flight in Trinidad and Tobago, so that's going to be a spectacle for Trinidad and Tobago. But we also look at other players as we begin to settle on our squad, as we look at getting this journey done.
Tough game today against Police. What can we expect?
Well, as I said earlier in an earlier interview, we are a solid team. We come for these kind of games, and we want to make a statement. We are a new team on the block, but we're full of experience throughout the team, as well as on the coaching staff with Mr. Ron Lafferty. So we're going to be making a statement, and I think no better place to start against the Police FC.
All right, thank you. Have a good game.
Same to you.
And that, of course, was the manager of Real Westford, Gordon Pierre. He spoke about a lot of changes. We'll discuss that later on in the broadcast. But Central Soccer World, it's the first time that we're having them playing on a Friday evening. So our fans on Sportsmax, it's the first time that we're going to get a chance. And we're speaking about wet conditions. We caught up with them at their training session where we spoke with Coach Randolph Boyce, Captain Ryan Frederick, and defender Isaiah John. And I tell you, it was wet conditions when we spoke with them. And we're here with Police coach Richard Hood. Big match coming up today. Of course, you're in second place after 4 matches.
Yeah, sure. We look forward to a good game today. For us, it's just about continuous improvement. And again, we're really happy to be back out on the football field.
6 points. After you lost your first game, what lessons have you learned? You seem to have learned some lessons there.
Not so much that we've learned. Not so much that we learned lessons. It's more that we know that we were a bit underprepared. And obviously the way our philosophy works, we look at the games that we play and we look at what would have been the biggest problem and we try to fix it in training before the next game. So that's basically what we do.
What can we expect today?
Hopefully a good performance and hopefully a victory.
Thanks very much, Coach.
You're very welcome.
And we just spoke with Richard Hill, in fact, the coach of police. We'll take a break and we'll come back with much more right here on Sportsmax. Tournament, Police FC, they're coming up against Real Westford. So we will see the teams and have the lineups with you in just a second. Brent Sancho alongside yours truly, James Saunders, bringing you all the action. And we spoke about the wet conditions. The rain has eased here in La Joquita, so it's very overcast, but it's wet conditions. And Brent Sancho, he believes that ideal conditions for a first match.
Well, certainly from a defender's perspective, it's what you would want, James, and the ability to, of course, the famous slide tackle. But outside of that, yeah, I think with a little sprinkling of water on the pitch from the rain would lead for the passes, of course, with a bit more pace, and it would add, of course, to the tempo of the game as well. And we expect both teams, who ironically, James, are chasing Terminus La Joquita Rangers at the top of the table, would want to, of course, start as the aggressor here today. We talked a little bit about the Real Westford team and some of the additions they would have made. And also, of course, Police FC with that famous victory on Sunday against Canopy FC, which would see them starting to move up the table, which puts this afternoon's fixtures as a very important one, although we are still very early within the tournament. But a very important game for both teams if they are to, of course, see themselves as challengers for this year's edition of the Ascension Football League.
Well, let's just rehash the position of these teams for all of our viewers. Police FC, of course, they are in third position on the standings with 6 points. They won their first match against Deportivo Point 40. They lost against Terminix Rangers 4-2. And their last match against Canupia, they got a 2-1 victory, and that keeps them third in the standings, just behind the leaders, Terminix Rangers, who will be playing the second match this evening. And Real Westford, well, not the start that they would have liked in this competition. They're currently in 6th position, but on 4 points. They've lost their opening match. Remember that 4-1 defeat to Canupia FC. We brought that match to you here on Sportsmax. But then they rebounded 1-0 against Maruga at the Arima Velodrome. And then they got a 2-2 draw in their last week fixture against Central FC. So they're in 6th position, and Police FC in 3rd position. What do you think are the key to success for both these teams?
I think first of all for Police and the way they approach this one has to be the midfield play of Nanton in particular. He's been a tremendous find for the Lawmen. He's dictated the pace of the games when Police has been successful, and of course he has been able to build the types of attacks that Freitas, the main man up front, Kareem Freitas has thrived on. Of course, solidity at the back with national goalkeeper Fonset. But I think in terms of keys and what is important for Police is the midfield play. It has to be at the tempo. It has to be of the kind of quality that we saw against Kanupi FC.
Well, the fans already pouring into the pavilion in La Hakata. In just a minute, we will see the teams walk out, and we will introduce you to the lineup of these teams. Richard Hood, of course, he has led Police FC, a former national coach, and he's done a phenomenal job. And, well, the first pictures of the officials making their way out into the middle as we are mere minutes away from the start of this fixture. Nikolai Nairon will be the referee for this match, and he will be assisted by Johan Cornel and Sash Ramrup, while Joel Cox will be the fourth official. Real West Fort in their green, the team from West Trinidad, a relatively new team in the competition in football in general, and they will be taking on the Police FC in their familiar grey outfit. So in a bit, we take a look at some of the lineups. Karen Cummings, how important do you think how valuable do you think he is to this Westport team?
Yeah, I think without a doubt he is the guy that they would expect tonight to step up against Police. His midfield play would be the catalyst in which Real West Fort would build. We talked a lot about some of the new additions as well to this Real West Fort team. It's going to be interesting to see how they integrate into this lineup. This, by all stretch of the imagination, is a very, very difficult game for Real West Fort. But some of the names within there have Trinidad Tobago Professional Pro League experience, and some of has national team experience at Trinidad Tobago. So this Real West Fort team, coached by, of course, my good friend Ron Laferre, I think could be, of course, a bit of a handful for Police.
Well, he spoke about national pedigree. Adrian Fonset, the goalkeeper for Police, the Trinidad and Tobago International. Just a handful of caps from Fonset, just about 12 international caps for him. He's relatively been the number 2 behind Marvin Phillips. So Police, Fonset will lead their defense in goal. And Elijah Belgrave and his experience will be relied on at the back, together with Cadian Gabriel, the former Central FC man. Former Derby Connection striker Jem Gordon is in the lineup, together with Gabriel Nanton. And they've got some pedigree in attack with Jabari Mitchell expected to lead the attack for Police FC. So the boys in grey, the Lawmen as they're called, a club that has been around for over 40 years. And they meet the newcomers, Real West Fort, who will have Jack Poon Lewis in goal, the former SSFL goalkeeper. Nicholas Walker gets his way into the starting lineup, together with Cornel Thomas, the former St. Anne's Rangers man. Brandon Creed, the former TNT Youth International, is in with Karen Cummings. And Sean De Silva, the former national youth captain, and Gary Griffith III gets a place in the lineup this evening, together with Cordell Samuel, who's played all over Eastern Asia and is back with this team scoring goals.
Yeah, similar to the fixture last week, where we saw, of course, a bevy of players with national team experience, with overseas experience. It's similar here this afternoon. This is really going to lend to, of course, the environment as the teams huddle and get themselves prepared. But without a doubt, it's going to be an interesting one.
Well, I can guarantee that if anything positive should happen in attack for Westford, this pair would be involved. Cordell Samuel, a number 23, 37 years old. He's played all over Eastern Asia, played in Thailand, Moldova, Malaysia, and hoping to get some goals this evening as Karen Cummings launches the first attack for the boys from the Western Peninsula. Jem Gordon gets it away only as far as a green shirt this time. Sean De Silva does have a long range shot on him. It's back with Westford. Just one to aim at. Cordell Samuel aimed in early, but should be easy for Fonset. And, well, he just gobbles that one up. And a very progressive start already from the boys from the West. But here comes Police pushing forward now, as this attack is broken up. We'll have a second bite at the cherry. Well marshaled by the green shield, goes out for a throw. Very hectic start already in this match. Majority of the players quite familiar with each other. Although Westford, a relatively new team, they've certainly got some players who have been around. Well, that's easily cut out, and it could be a cross in. Cornel Thomas takes no chances. Foot race on now. Can't get to Samuel. This one is hoofed back into the area. And again, the head of Cornel Thomas intervenes. Well, it's just trying to get to the pace. Neither team have really settled in this match. It's been end to end so far as Belgrade gets it away. Only as far as that man who, well, he sent it to the heavens. It's much better from long distance. Not this time, Karen Cummings.
Yeah, but always going to be a difficult one. Trying to put that very trusted left foot across his right. And of course, at the end, it didn't trouble the national goalkeeper. Fun setting goal. Good start so far by Real Westford United. I certainly look up for this one this afternoon.
Well, Fonset is saying that he's going to go the long route. Trying to get past the early press of the Westford. Jem Gordon couldn't control. It's huffed back into the air. It's a foot race on now, and Fonset should win it. Cordell Samuel really quick off the mark. Thought he could have snuck in there. Not past the very alert Fonset. Headed away. Well intercepted by Nanton as he charges forward. Does find support out wide. He's got options to aim at. He's trying to dance his way around this man here. Oh, he's done well, has he? No foul, says the referee as play continues away with Karen Cummings. And, well, Gary Griffith, the third, got his first touch of the action. It's one that's won back by his team. It's a throw. It's a very unique role that Karen Cummings is being used by this Westford team. He's coming a lot deeper, almost a registrar, rather than the number 10 that he usually occupies that role.
Well, he looked like he's obviously trying to use his experience to have some sort of impact or effect on this game. He's floating around the middle of the park, but he's not going to be useful if he holds onto the ball that long. They need him to, of course, play. Bit of petulance shown there, but yeah, I think he's been floating in and out the middle of the park from a 6 to a 10 to an 8, and a player of that quality could do that. Certainly has the intelligence football-wise.
Well, this one is sent long in the area. In search of Gary Griffith III. Well cut out. Well, already the rhythm section here in La Hoqueta. Well tuned. It's a nice foot race here. Should get one over, deflected, and that will be a corner for Police. So they've already created some danger. Had 2 men in the area to aim at. Couldn't pick any one of them out as that one was deflected. So just inside the first 5 minutes of the match. Just going to pile the big bodies forward. Police as Nanton gets set to take this one.
This is where they're dangerous, James. They scored 2 set pieces against Canupia FC last weekend.
Well, can he find a grey shirt? Well fisted away by the goalkeeper. And really had a snatch at it there. Never really connected properly as that one goes out.
Looks like Lewis with the effort. Eventually putting it over the bar. But that's where they're dangerous, James. They're very eager to get into the box. They're eager. The big boys coming up to get their heads, their feet onto it. Aggressive in the box. And there's no end of danger to Canupia last weekend. And I'm sure they want to, of course, do the same here to Real Westford.
Well, they've lost it in a bad area. But that's well cut out in the end. It looked dangerous. Observe that both goalkeepers have opted more often than not to go the long route, perhaps taking no chances on the slick surface.
Well, when you see where the line of confrontation is drawn by both teams, of course, Real Westford playing a high line as well as Police, so both teams are opting to go a bit more direct.
Well, this is a chance opening up here. Cornel Thomas, he gets rid of the danger, and the break is on if he can control it, which he can't. And, well, apologies all around, but certainly a dangerous looking counter-attack for Westport. Jem Gordon, manhandle, but he managed to hold on to possession. Well, he's done well to get it into a dangerous area. Maybe a shot could be on. Well cut out by Walker. Push forward down the favored right-hand channel, but he didn't get his coordinates right this time around. Well, Police back into the area, flicked on to Jem Gordon. Can he control it? And again, Walker gets his big boot in the way. But he goes to ground, but there's no whistle as Nanton keeps it alive.
That's a good ball.
And well held by Poon Lewis in the end. Diminutive shot stopper, but he looks very brave. Well, how will this play develop here as Gary Griffith III manhandled and loses possession.
You'd have to think at some point, James, one out of these two teams are going to settle into a rhythm and start to dictate the pace. If I was a betting man, I may think it'd be Police FC. Although Real Westport has shown a lot of guile, as we see that lone supporter of Police FC certainly believes in what I believe. And at some point they're going to start to dictate the pace, but it's been helter-skelter so far.
Well, they held a firm grip on this one as Jem Gordon loses possession, but that's a good challenge from Belgrave to win it back. Here's Nanton. Belgrave couldn't connect with the tic-tac-toe passing, and it's away with Cummings. Well, he's so silky in possession, Karen Cummings. This keeps the movement flowing. It's cut out though. Should be easy for Cornel Thomas. It's Karen Cummings. Couldn't pick out Samuel. Kenley, long passes employed by both teams, but they're away now. Police opening up some spaces. Lewis. But he tries to cut inside, and the referee says Cummings' challenge is illegal. Well, I wonder what he's saying there. Having some words with Karen Cummings. Clearly not pleased by the challenge.
I think he's a bit more surprised that he's tackled by Karen Cummings. We don't normally see him in that part of the pitch, but so far in the opening 10 minutes or so, he has certainly been everywhere in the pitch as we have another look at it, impeding the progress there of that man Lewis. He's just missing a bit of quality, James, from both teams. You know, the endeavor is there, there's certainly desire. The tempo of the game is not bad, but the quality is certainly lacking in both teams, especially from a passing point of view.
Well, Nanton changes that statistic. He's got 3 lurking grey shirts in the area. Jem Gordon, Kareem Freitas, together with the man who won the foul, Lewis. Nanton goes for goal, and Poon Lewis, well, it's comfortable as a polar bear in the Arctic. Well, they've struggled to get past the Police press Westport, and again that attack comes to naught as it's taken away. Well kept alive. Cabby couldn't pick out Lewis. Gary Griffith III loses possession. Dangerous area. Here's Jabari Mitchell. And just too much juice on that one into Jem Gordon, but they're connecting now. And that man is saying, keep calm, guys.
I guess when you needed a little bit more care on that pass there, overhit. The idea was correct. Jem Gordon made an incisive run into the Real Westport United rear guard, as you would want to suggest from a real Westford perspective. They hope that police doesn't really get into their groove.
Well, here's Gordon. Looks dangerous. So too this man, Jabari Mitchell, the former TNT Youth International. Well, he had to be careful there. Turned him into a hurdler. But they get away the danger. Here's Sean De Silva. Hasn't been involved much and is still kept alive. Looking for Griffith. He's got lots of space ahead of him. Challenged by Lewis. Step overs. Keeps it alive. Cummings. Oh, they've burst through Sean De Silva. And, well, just tried to deny the corner, but as he kept it alive, no, it's gone out, and it will be a throw to Westford. It's a corner kick, in fact. Cummings. Can he pick out a green shirt? Not this time, but he still managed to keep it. Attempted shot, could open up for Samuel, but the flag goes up. And, well, wouldn't have counted. And I'm sure that the goalkeeper, Fonset, would have wished that whistle came a bit earlier, feeling the brunt of that challenge from Samuel.
Didn't look like he wanted anything to do with that, Fonset. I think he tried everything in his power to make sure he wasn't hurt. There's that man, Nanton. And of course, De Silva of Real Westford. Here's a good sprinkling of players that would have played, of course, at one part in time with the national setup for Trinidad and Tobago, and of course would have plied their trade in the professional league in Trinidad and Tobago as well.
Well, that man, Walker, played with FC Dallas in the MLS. He was the 43rd draft in the MLS Super Draft. 32-year-old Tobagonian making his Ascension debut. Aimed in at Cummings. The bicycle attempt. Gets it to Samuel. And a flag coming from an offside position. Not spotted, but play allowed to continue from the referee. It's long. Searching. And Walker. Well, his challenge more familiar with Texas Ranger than a footballer this time around. And he's feeling the brunt of it.
Yeah, I think Walker is going to be ever present, and Kareem Freitas is going to have to get used to that, because he's an uncompromising figure and an uncompromising soul when it comes to defending.
Jabari Mitchell sends it long, testing the goalkeeper.
Should have finished, James.
Well, should have gotten it. Seemed to get something at the end of it, but not enough contact from Belgrave to really trouble Poon Lewis. And everybody in a green shirt is happy right now that he didn't get it on target.
Yeah, certainly should have been 1-0 there. Good flighted ball in by Jabari. And that man, Belgrave, remarkably enough, he scored the corner kick against Canopia. Similar type of position, back post heading into the back of the net. Certainly didn't have that sort of direction with this one this week. Of course, there's that man, Ron Laferre, former coach of mine.
The professor. Ron Laferre, of course, former Trinidad and Tobago international, with 65 caps with the national senior team in his day. Gabriel. Awkward clearance back to Fonset, but it's quite comfortable dealing with those.
This is where, James, I would prefer to see police try to play out to the back. I think this is where they have to be brave and, of course, try to break the press of Real Westford United. Those aimless balls, of course, this one given away, is not going to do their cause any good. It's important that they show a bit of bravery.
Another pass cut out. Freitas looking for Gordon. It's going to be a long chase for him, but the slick conditions gets the better of it. Quickly taken. It's Cornel Thomas. Oh, that's a good turn. Really opened up some space, got De Silva ahead of him. Cut out by Belgrave. Here's Nanton. Has to hurry. Does well to get it to Gordon, who's been a terror on the left for Police.
That's a good ball.
Oh, maybe just too much pep on that one. And it sent it for Samuel to chase, but tell you what, not even Usain Bolt could have gotten close. Mitchell comes deep to get involved in the build-up. Lewis, again looking for that right-hand side.
That's a lot better by Police, as we're talking about playing out to the back. They have to show that confidence and that bravery. That's the only way they're going to break that high press. Of course, the execution of the pass is not what you want to see. But I think overall, in terms of building out to the back and playing through the middle of the park, that's where they're successful. With the likes of Nanton on the ball, you figure that Police would give themselves every opportunity. But you hope to see a little bit more of that. Not the execution of the pass at the end, though.
Well, here's Sean De Silva. Anybody can execute, he can. Oh, that's a good look and a good shot, but, well, even better goalkeeping. Footwork from Fonset. Never lacked confidence. That's a foul, though, by Freitas and Cornel Thomas.
He's one of the best in the business at that, Freitas. Normally cuts a lone figure up there, but very capable of playing in that position. As we could see Cornel explaining and of course trying to give reason for his foul. They're going to have a full night tonight with Freitas up front.
Gordon, Nanton. Well marshaled, but he gets away from the press. But that is well cut out by the lunging challenge. Must be difficult playing on surface like these, getting the pace of the surface early on.
We talked about it in the lead up to this broadcast, about the slick surface here. As you can see, of course, James, commentator's curse, sliding off the surface. The Bermuda grass surface is one, it's not like, of course, Savannah grass, which is a bit thicker and a bit more flush. Of course, a low-cut Bermuda grass with rain on top of it. And you're talking about, of course, a fast surface as we see that man Lewis.
Brendan Creed, a bit rash in his challenge there, and well, Lewis not liking any bit of it. Took his time to get off the surface. Brendan Creed, he looked as nonchalant as a candy thief in a school bazaar. That's gotta hurt, but he's back on his feet, and Jabari Mitchell takes control of this set piece. And again, floated in deep. And again, Belgrave not really connecting. The game plan is clear. The execution, however, it's been a different story.
Of course, as I mentioned, he was in fine fickle last week Sunday. He put the lawmen up against Canopia FC. He's had his chances, James. 2 balls, back post, wasn't able to connect.
Here's Gary Griffith, the third. Oh, he's gotten past one with the step over. And, well, the referee sides in his favor. He's been compared this week in the local press to Cristiano Ronaldo, son of the former Trinidad and Tobago Police Commissioner, Gary Griffith II. Has a lot to prove, the young man, but he can't prove it here. Well cut out. Here's Mitchell.
It's close.
Walker. Oh, Griffith. Nice turn from Gary Griffith. Former Fatima man. He's hacked down and no whistle. Play continues.
That's a foul.
And the whistle comes belatedly. And Arcadian Gabriel is pleading his innocence. Young man seems back to his best.
Yeah, I thought that one was certainly cause for the referee's whistle, but eventually Real Fort West would have gotten that free kick. This could be dangerous for Police.
De Silva couldn't pick out Samuel. Very capable from set pieces, Sean De Silva.
That's well done by Corny.
Excellent stuff. Walker gets Poon Lewis involved. Here's Gary Griffith III. He's on a run, looking for space. Well, he tried to be clever there, Sean De Silva. And fortune favors him as he manages to hold on to possession. His mother, of course, Nicole Dyer Griffith, former Miss TNT. She does come from a prestigious pedigree here in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, Walker has to chase here. Oh, poor decision maybe, and he's lucky to get away with it. Not sure Cornel Thomas really knew much about that pass aimed in at him.
Again here, you got to play short. You got to break the press.
Had to be quick. Here comes the police.
That's a good ball.
Jem Gordon.
Oh, I tell you what.
Ball maybe, and
it's a penalty.
well, he's pointing. Not quite sure if it's in the area, but Brent Sancho's gaze seemed to be a lot better than me, and might have won a steamer penalty. I'm not sure for the initial challenge or the resulting handball after that.
I think it was the initial challenge. Once he took this touch inside of the defender here, the defender was always at risk of upending Jen Gordon. And that's what exactly young Raheem Jarvis did at the end. I don't think he gave the official much choice.
Well, you're absolutely spot on. It is a penalty. And Gabriel Nanton has the huge responsibility of getting past that man. And he does. 1-0 to Police FC in the 23rd minute, courtesy Gabriel Nanton. Well, he looked pretty solid until that moment, Poon Lewis, but nothing he could do about that well-taken penalty from Gabriel Nanton.
Well, it was the episode of QRC meeting CIC once again. Poon Lewis, former custodian for QRC, up against Nanton, former captain of St. Mary's College, both teams in the SSFL. Nanton coming out the winner there, and more importantly, giving this Police FC team a 1-0 lead as they hunt for more.
Maybe they can get more here. It's Lewis. Oh, that's good from Bailey. Thought about a shot for a minute, left it for Nanton.
Yeah, it never sat up for him.
Could open up on the other end. But the pass is well cut out, well read in fact, by Cameron Purcell. Oh, he's got a chase here. It's been a naughty boy giving away the penalty. And they've really struggled putting attacks together. Westport. Police press has been highly effective. They need more from that man, and oh, look at that from Cummings. Brought out the party tricks. And Police, well, look to open the door.
It's a good touch.
Nanton.
That's
Can
a
he
good
open up
drive.
something here?
That's a penalty.
And
that is a penalty.
It's another penalty. And again, the naughty corner has been the place for defenders as another rash challenge opens another opportunity for the Police.
Well, this was all down to Nanton and his driving run into the box. Getting past, of course, the real Westport back four and putting across there for Freitas as he drives into the box. Nanton purpose puts it across the goal. And of course, that is an RFL tackle straight out of the Rugby Union League.
Well, here's a footballer, Jabari Mitchell.
That's good.
And,
Quality.
well, he's chosen the same corner of his predecessor, Nanton, with the same devastating results. And it's 2-0 to Police. 2 goals, 2 minutes.
Well, this football game has turned on its head in the space of 5 minutes. All self-inflicted. by Real Westford United. Clumsy defending in both situations. And of course, tucked into the back of the net for a 2-0 lead for Police FC.
Well, he'd be wondering what went wrong. Seen 2 goals flying in 2 minutes. Yes, Gary Griffith III. Can he open something up? The flag of the official. Well, it interrupts that thought. So it's a game that really ebbed and flowed. They've huffed and they've puffed. Finally, they got a warrant to go in, the Police. And they've taken a 2-goal advantage. 27 minutes played here in La Hoqueta. And they want more. This time Freitas goes to ground. And they'll only get a throw.
I think that despite the purpose that Real Westford United have shown so far in this fixture, they've certainly lacked a little bit of quality when they're in possession. I think that's the only thing that's really let them down. They found themselves with the ball in decent positions, but they just haven't been able to capitalize on it. They've been good at this, pressing Police, but they've got to be better when they win it back.
Samuels been chasing shadows all evening. Service to him hasn't been the best quality. Away by Walker. It's Freitas linking up well with Jabari Mitchell. Could he find Freitas? He complains that he's impeded. The referee saw no wrong. And it's away with Westford. Sean De Silva hasn't really impacted the match so far. De Silva, former Queen's Park man. Looking for Griffith.
It's a good ball.
Should be cut out. Oh, he's done well, the young man. Keeps it alive. It's Cummings. Just seems to be everywhere, Kieran Cummings. Oh, such a clever player. But he's well marshaled by the Police. They've got their intelligence locked onto him. Can Freitas find a way? He does find Lewis.
A bit too heavy.
Has another opportunity to put it in a dangerous area, and that has been deflected. Will be a corner.
That has really been the story of the game so far, James. Despite the 2-0 scoreline by Police FC, I think the quality and the end result and the end product by both teams have not been sufficient. And the weather, of course, and we talked about the slick surface. I think all those ingredients have really lent to a game where possibly should have had more goals so far.
Well, here's one of the goal scorers, Nanton, in search of maybe a third. And Poon Lewis.
That's good hands.
Done little wrong this evening. He's already seen 2 fly past him. Can his team repay him? In for Sean De Silva. Well cut out. Lewis. Nanton. Oh, that's a good pass. And a nice overlap from Gabriel. Can he pick out someone in the area?
Yeah, it's got to be better there. End product, James, end product.
Gary Griffith III.
He's done everything right, Gabriel. Everything right. Just needs a little bit more quality.
It's Bailey. And just too long for Belgrade. It's finding more space now as the central players have been occupying the defenders and midfielders, creating space out wide. And the quality of Police just coming to the fore at the moment.
Well, the game's getting a bit stretched for Real Westford United. And their defense is quite low, while of course they're trying to squeeze Police up front, but there's a big gap in the middle of the field. And Police have exploited that so far.
Well, can Sean De Silva exploit some of it? And Fonset puts an end to that thought. quite deep here and trying to get involved in the playmaking, and well, his coordinates, it's not quite to the high standard that he set for himself, Freitas. Will give Real Westport an opportunity to reset and reorganize. Well, just like that, they find themselves trailing Real Westport 2-0 to Police. Struggle to really get combinations going, get out into the final third. Into Cordell Samuels, flicked on, only as far as Bailey. Onset. Much better in their build-up from Police, but they give it away yet again.
You just need to be a little bit more patient there, Nanton. It's the right idea, and that's what I've been calling for throughout this game, where they need to, of course, try to be a little bit more purposeful in their possession coming out of the back. I think Nanton just needed to be a little bit more composed.
Here's Mitchell, Jem Gordon involved. Used the space really well, Gordon.
He's got to pass it.
Again, cut out.
Nanton's breaking his lines there. Good skill.
In search of Samuel, and crossed wires, and Police happy to clear the danger. Just sense that a bit of quality is missing in the final third for Westport. Well, here's a man not short of quality. Karen Cummings wins a free kick for his team.
You have to give him credit, James. He's really putting in a shift for his team. We know the type of quality that he has, and he's certainly been everywhere in the park for Real Westport so far. Whether he can use that to impact the game, let's see.
This
That's a
time,
good ball.
oh, that's a good ball. Gary Griffith the third, not making very good contact. Walker seemed like he wanted that one, but they have won a corner though. And young Griffith will line up to take this one. Cummings opening up a chance here. And well, they just got in each other's way, didn't they? Griffith and Walker.
Some good delivery there.
Here's Griffith. Good looking ball. On a good shot, just missing its mark. And they're coming closer, and they'll have another opportunity from yet another corner.
He's certainly getting on to the end of these things, Real Westport.
Well, they'd want to find the head of that man, Walker. Another good service from Griffith.
It's good defending.
Good technique from Griffith as well. Pinged in nice and flat. Griffith, more space. Can he get some quality in? Well, that was the aim for the silver, but well cut out. Oh, he's done well. Keeps it alive here.
It's a good tackle.
De Silva. Oh, they picked the lock, have they? In on the left, and well, did everything right besides beat Fonset at the near post. Might have gotten a touch, and it's a corner. And just like that, Westport, they've been the one huffing and puffing.
It's that man, Rondell Gibson. That's good skill there by the young man. Thought he would have finished there. Better quality by Real Westport United.
How will the Police respond? Jem Gordon, he's been lively all evening. So too Nanton. Oh, that's a pinged in ball. One back by Westport. They've got some momentum. Question is, can they keep it? And well, he's got some skill. And he's certainly keeping them busy, the Police defenders. Karen Cummings with it.
Here he is again there. Bit of waltz cha-cha-cha dancing. Jem Gordon holding on for dear life.
Oh, here's Griffith. He's got a ton load of space now to deliver a good service. Can he pick a green shirt? He does, and the Fonset cleans up easy. The header, no real threat. But they're just getting in some dangerous areas now.
I think the goalkeeper Fonset just needed to possibly hold on to it a bit longer. Game management there needed to be better. Just take this thing out of it, as Real Westford seem to be finding their own a bit. That's where I think police need to show a bit of composure. They look a bit rattled.
Yes, Cummings, he's been at the heart of everything lively for Westford. Looking for Samuel. Unlucky bonks. Beating everybody but Fonset. Just sense that he gets on the end of one of those chances. Samuel can cause a dent. Nanton. He's got Belgrave to the outside of him. Chooses to go alone. And wow, Mitchell was flying in there hoping for some scraps. No luck. And his teammate Freitas flew in himself, but illegally, giving away a free kick. Well, it's really pouring at the moment now. Oh, can he catch this one? Oh, the answer right in front of you. Belgrave making sure that no risk to his team.
Certainly the game now seemed to have kind of pattered out a bit, James. Both teams are searching really for a bit of rhythm. It's a stop-start affair. And, both teams look very unwilling to at least play through the middle of the park.
Oh, giving away possession cheaply. Then he lost it themselves cheaply. Wrestling with a football match. Football. Teams just trading possession, but police, they've managed to hold on now. And here's Jabari Mitchell. Jem Gordon, he's got space. Got options as well. And Cornel Thomas, how often have we seen him get in the way of a dangerous looking service? I'm not sure the coach is very happy though. They have gotten some joy down the left side, but they haven't really capitalized in terms of what they've done with it. That man, Cornel Thomas, has been a rock on the TNT Youth International. Oh, can they make something happen here? Jabari Gordon, they really lead 2-0. This one is hoofed away by Sean De Silva, only as far as Lewis is lost out. And they'll battle for this one, and that's very good strength. Cummings. Griffith. Oh, almost danced his way out of trouble there, and Gary Griffith cleaning up with a slide tackle. Well, when you've got two of your more creative players defending their corner flag, it says something about the way that your team is set up. Offensively, that is. Struggled offensively.
Yeah, and I think that it's really the thought process in the final third has let Real Westford down. Just a little bit more quality is needed when they are in possession. As you rightfully said, James, there's tremendous amount of talent out there for them.
Oh, Bailey! Oh, Poon Lois had to be Superman there. I think he might have been caught off guard though. But that one, it seemed to skip on him. Did well though. Oh, that's too heavy.
It's a good shot there by Bailey. Really got hold of that one. Poon Lois with safe, strong hands to keep it out to the back of the net.
Well, he has to be alert again here, and well, he doesn't disappoint. Been beaten by 2 penalties this evening, Poon Lewis. It's Creed versus Lewis. Lewis does well, or has he? He's lost it. Cummings, nice give and go.
That's good skill.
Oh, he's gone past one, opening up some space here. Easily bodied off, but Sean De Silva comes to the rescue. Chances opening up, and not a very good service. Does have another attempt. De Silva. And, well, it's gotten really messy when it's gotten to the final third. Hasn't concerned that man much.
And a lot of it has to do with the thought process, the decision making. It's just not been good enough, despite the quality that's out there. And some of it as well, James, is the options not being presented by a teammate. I think if Real Westport United could figure out that conundrum, it'd be a lot more potent on the attacking end, but certainly at the defensive end, that man in shot Cornel has been solid alongside Walker, despite the 2-goal advantage by Police.
Well, pinged in there for Freitas, and well, you mentioned Cornel Thomas, and it's like the boogeyman, you call his name and he appears. And well, it's been good news for Westport whenever he has showed up. It's a corner though for Police. Jabari Mitchell will take his time about this one. Under 3 minutes of regulation time remaining in the first half. Well, they're not shy to commit numbers forward, do Police. Looking for a third, and they found it. And how about that for a service? And with good service comes greater execution, as they've found themselves with the central defender Purcell getting his name on the score sheet. Nothing much that man could do there. Poon Lewis.
Well, it's a good ball into the box here. Well flighted. We talked about how dangerous Police FC are on set plays. And of course, I don't think the memo went out to Real Westport, because there's no way that they would have allowed that much room to Purcell to flick it into the back of the net. However, great execution, James. Good goal. Police 3-0 to the good. Maybe game, set, match. I'm not sure.
Well, he certainly might be making a petition to play more offensively. The central defender Purcell looked good putting away that header. It's not often that he gets goals, but he has gotten one for Police tonight.
And we talked about it, decision making. Of course, we talked about it offensively, but that their decision making defensively, Real West needs to understand that Police are very good at set plays. You have to get your body across your man, you have to be tight, you have to mark, and you have to be aggressive, and they won't. If not, they were warned a couple of times before with Belgrave at the back post. They certainly never adjusted, and now eventually they were inflicted.
Sean De Silva got to turn water into wine for his team at the moment. He's one of the players they'll be relying on to dig them out of this hole. So to this man, Cummings. Well, they can't get past that roadblock. Fortunate to win it back, and then they give up a foul. So it's a free kick to Westport. Cadian Gabriel has a big smile on his face. Don't let that fool you for a minute. Take you out if he has to. So it's a chance for Westport maybe to get consolation going into halftime. Purcell getting the better there of Cornel Thomas. High into the air. Walker helps out. Has it been kept alive? Well, they've lost out in that one. It's a throw for Police. There's a man down at the moment, just out of your frame.
Looks like Gibson. Gibson.
Good news, he's back on his feet, and Cadian Gabriel can continue with the action. Nicknamed Drogba. And he did start his career as a centre forward before being shifted around. He's a utility player. A couple of caps with the Trinidad and Tobago national senior team. Did play for Central FC, your team, Brent Sancho.
Yeah, good servant to Central FC. Won a couple trophies along the way. Certainly played all over the park. A player that leaves his certainly leaves his impression and his mark on their football game. Never say die attitude, works extremely hard. Good servant.
Quite intrigued by that nickname Drogba though. And well, no intrigue left in the first half of this match as Police take a commanding 3-0 advantage over Real Westport in the first half of action here at the Larkter Recreation Ground. How would you sum up the first half, Brent Sancho?
Well, I think it's a half of lack of quality throughout both teams, and the quality has really set on the doorstep of decision making. Some poor decisions by both teams, especially when they get into the final third. We've seen some spurts here and there, seen some quality here and there, not enough and not consistent enough, of course, to make this game a blowout so far. But Police would be happy with the score. Certainly the aggressor and certainly the team that showed a little bit more than the other.
So at halftime, Police 3, Real Westport 0. We take a break and come back with more. Well, we've had lots of rain and we've also had lots of goals in the first half of this match between Police and Real Westport in this Ascension football tournament. At halftime, Police lead by 3-0, and they would open up early. Nanton testing Poon Lewis and up to the task. Jabari Mitchell tried his luck later on to Elijah Belgrave. The defender not making good contact at the back door. More chances opening up for Police. Jem Gordon lively, and this time he was bundled over by the defender, and it's a penalty that Nanton would convert quite easily, getting past Poon Lewis to put Police up 1-0 in the match. And well, just a few minutes later, Nanton himself would create some danger with the pass, and when Freitas went down, it meant that another penalty was won, and this time Jabari Mitchell stepping up. Same corner, same result for Police as they took a 2-0 advantage, 2 goals in 2 minutes for the Lawmen. And later on, Westport created some chances of their own. A scuff from that one, and well, how close was that? Huffing and puffing and not taking advantage of the opportunities. Another chance would open up for Police later on, and Poon Lewis up to the task, but then the set piece was the undoing, and the central defender Purcell getting his head at the end of that one. And well, he's a happy man. His team is a happy team as they lead 3-0 at halftime. So that is the score that we're looking at halftime here in La Joquita. And looking at the statistics, quite interesting, Brent Sancho.
Yeah, in terms of the shots department, it's quite even. And I think when you go a bit further down in the statistics at the corners and saves, etc., I think that's where police, of course, asserted themselves. Again, I want to talk about the quality and the lack thereof, and of course the decision making. I think if that isn't to improve, we may see, of course, a better second half. The first half, police would be, of course, the happy of the two, 3 goals to the good. But still, as I said, decision making has not been at its best, despite, of course, all of the possession and all that we have seen.
Well, they've certainly got 3 shots on target, Real Westford. Hadn't made the most of the opportunities, but they did get some opportunities. And what do you think is lacking necessarily in offense for Westford?
I just think that when they get into their attacking third, that they have to be, of course, a little more understanding, a little bit more patient, a little bit more better application. As I said, decision making has not been the best. They've been finding themselves, they have quality that's been at the end of it, but the decision making just hasn't been good enough.
And what would you say to Coach Richard Hood? If you were Richard Hood right now in the dugout, what would you say to your team? You're leading 3-0.
I think they have to, it's all about game management going into the second half. Of course, that comes down to possessing the football, playing out to the back, being brave, and picking this Real Westford team apart. I think possession is key going into the second half, and they're going to have to cut out some of the direct balls that we've seen in the first half. If they can eliminate that and possess the ball a lot better, and of course make better decisions in the final third, they can go further ahead.
Well, coming up in our second match at 8 p.m., home team La Joquita Rangers, they're coming up against Central Soccer World. We had an opportunity to speak to Central Soccer World, and this is what they said.
It's a joy returning to competitive football at club level. You know, it's been a long wait, and you know, we've been anticipating it. It couldn't come at a better time, but the players and ourselves with the club, we had to take it one day at a time. We are close to where we want to be. We've been working hard, trying to get fit, but with the ball, not just with the physical running aspect of it. So I think we possibly like a 8 by now, so we still have some work to do. The challenge for this league title, because we see there's a lot of competitive teams, there's a lot of good teams in this league. We'll need a lot of teamwork, we'll need a lot of commitment, discipline in our play. We'll need everybody to be fully fit, and we'll need to stick to our game plan and work hard for each other.
Vibes is very good because everyone right now is eager for the competition to start. So everyone is being early, everyone is being energetic, everyone is being eager but everything is good right now. The vibes and everything around the camp is positive. Best qualities with the squad right now is that we have a lot of experience and youth. So we will be a force to reckon with. And we have a lot of quality players also from around the central area who played at the highest level. So we will have a good mixture of, as I say, experience and youth going into the competition. We really like to be in the money because everybody here is ambitious players. Even the coaches, the staff, everyone in the background staff, everybody is ambitious people, and we had set the bar high.
It's really intense. You know, we're trying to do as much as the coach teaching us in training, putting it into our practice games. You know, we was lacking in some departments on the team, and I think that the new guys that come in, I feel that they are picking up where we was lacking, and I feel we're going good so far.
Our second match against Terminix La Hocketa Rangers. We take a break and we come back with second half action. Well, it's overcast here at the La Hocketa Recreation Ground as the rain continues to drizzle over the outfield. And, well, I tell you what, it didn't drizzle goals. It poured goals in the first half as Police were able to take a 3-0 lead over Real Westport. Welcome back. James Saunders is my name, and I'm joined by former TNT international defender Brent Sancho. Just to remind our viewers of the goals scored in the 23rd minute. The score was opened, Gabriel Nanton getting a penalty. Jabari Mitchell followed that up in the 26th minute with a penalty of his own. And then in the 33rd minute, or 43rd minute rather, the defender Cameron Purcell getting on the score sheet, and that's how it remained at halftime. We're just awaiting the teams to come out of the dugout. What do you expect of the second half, Brent?
Well, yeah, I think certainly from a Real Westport perspective, they're going to have to find some way of getting themselves back into this one. As I mentioned, the decision making and the way they approach it has to be one of a positive one, playing the front foot. I do think that Kieran Cummins needs to play a bit higher up the park. We've seen him doing a lot of his work deeper in his own half, and they would want to get him further up. And of course, from a Police perspective, certainly more of the same, despite the fact that I felt they could be a little bit more brave in possessing the football in possession. And of course, when they do possess it, a bit more quality. They certainly didn't show that, and despite that, they've been 3 goals up to the good.
Well, lots of work to be done in the second half. Referee Nikolai Nyron in charge of this one. He's done a decent job so far, just inviting the teams back onto the playing area. So both teams are out, and just a couple of minutes or seconds rather, we would have action. Certainly hope that Cordell Samuel can get into more offensive positions. Having a word amongst themselves, I'm sure that the team talk at halftime might have been a stern one. He doesn't mind though, he's a big smile on his face, the coach of Westford, Ron Lafferty. But he knows that tough work ahead for his boys. Focused and ready, that huddle led by goalkeeper Adrian Fonset. And they'd hope to remain focused and hold on to their 3-goal advantage. We have seen big leads disappear, and it's no different in this competition. There will be one change for Police though. They're just about getting set to make one change to their team, and tell you who that change is in just a few. So just a moment or so, action will resume here in La Hocketa. So Kadeem Hutchinson is being lined up at the moment, and everyone is looking back to welcome him on the field. So Kadeem Hutchinson has been replaced and has come in, and he replaces Kevin Lewis. So I'm a bit surprised at that change.
May have been an injury. He took a couple knocks in the first half, Lewis. Despite, of course, I would consider a good performance. A lot of it's a like for like, of course, for Police FC. And a lot of what they've done in the first half, if they could improve on the quality, I think they could be high and dry with a victory on all 3 points.
Well, that man in your picture just about set to resume action, and he's done a decent job. Certainly exposed lots of the young referee talent in Trinidad and Tobago this tournament. It's been 2 long years with no real football action being played due to pandemic lockdown. Here's Gabriel looking for Freitas. It falls nicely for Mitchell, deflected, and I think he's a tad lucky there.
Yeah, he is a bit lucky. I thought he hesitated a little bit there. Had every right to try and pull the trigger a bit earlier, Jabari Mitchell. Certainly has done a tremendous job breaking lines from the middle of the park. Real Westford have struggled to really pick him up, both him and Nampton coming out of the middle of the park, but he should have finished that one.
Well, they have an opportunity from the set piece, the corner, and well, just in case you're wondering, everybody's waiting for the ball. No ball boys in that area that the ball went out, and well, they've got to fetch it themselves. Jabari Mitchell, it seems, doing the job of getting that back into play. So it's time for action now.
They've got to be switched on here. Talked about how dangerous Police are with set plays.
Well, taken short, here's Nanton. Floated high into the air and shouldn't trouble anyone. It's a goal kick.
Well, it was a poor return. I think he expected the ball to be laid off to his trusty left foot. That man there, Nanton. That's a good touch.
Well, Cummings gets Samuel going. Well, he tried to flick it back in the path of Cummings. No real success, but they keep it alive. Here's Griffith at the back door. Anybody there? Wow. It's as lively as they've come all evening. And he's grateful for that opportunity opening up.
Yeah, it's a long probing ball back post there for young Griffith. Just the better option may have been to pull the ball back into a more dangerous position. Opted to try it himself, eventually going over the bar.
Well, that's too long for anybody to hold on to. Here's Sean De Silva. Still waiting for him to turn up in this match. Well, cut out. Mitchell, one of the 3 goal scorers on the evening. Trying to find a way forward. But cut out by Cummings, who starts an attack, and a good ball into Samuel. And Fonset, alert to the danger. Should be easy for Nanton to cut out. He does cut it out in the well. Gets past Joseph.
I tell you what, he's done really well there. It's a difficult one.
Bailey keeps it alive. Jabari Mitchell, they've got 4 to attack. Can he get a shot away?
It's good football.
Set it up nicely and just lost his footing in the end. And, well, that was anticlimactic. Another chance opening up, deflected. Has won a corner, but certainly, well, he had all the ribbon, the gift wrapping, but it was empty at the end of it all.
Well, it's the best passage of play we've seen all afternoon. Wide ball out to Jim Gordon. He does ever so well to feed it into Freitas, who lays him up on a pedestal. And he says, no, thank you, Freitas. I've ate before already.
Well, he'll be hoping to have another opportunity, but he don't get them better than that. So he's setting his troops about. We've got some defending to do. Westport. Police have looked dangerous all evening from set pieces. Mitchell swings it in. Headed away. Only as far as Mitchell.
It's a good ball.
Goes for a second bite. It's Bailey. Nanton. Gabriel. Just looking to find some spaces. And he does find one. Bailey. Some good circulation of the ball from Police. Again he goes for Gabriel. Again he picks him out. Can he find an ounce of space here? Does have some space. Well, didn't make the best use of it, but certainly created something for themselves, Police. Looking for Cummings. It's a lot more advanced than we saw in the first half. Karen Cummings. It's hopeful. And that prayer will not be answered. Well, fouled by the goalkeeper. Well, they're protesting that it was their ball. And Gabriel a bit too exuberant. Is Joseph. Good skill. Well, has he kept it? Well, he has. He's done well for himself. Does win a free kick. Creed would aim into the area. Easy, fun set. Well, Cornel Thomas had to get unconventional, but it's still back with Police here. Who can make something happen is Freitas. Oh, that's a good ball at the back door. Joseph tucks it off the post, and it's a sitter. If ever there was a sitter, as Jabari Mitchell gets his second. Well, he had the table set, goalkeeper losing his footing. And when the table is set that nicely, the only thing you can do is sit down and eat, and that's exactly what Jabari Mitchell did. And he gets Police fourth on the evening.
Well, it was a deep ball across the face of the buck by Freitas. Good pass back, slight deflection. And it was the easiest of tasks there for Mitchell. 4-0 to Police FC. The scoreline may be a bit flattering, but nevertheless, they've taken their opportunities.
Well, the first real involvement of the substitute, Hutchinson, results in a goal for Police. And, well, it's forced some changes on the other end as Real Westport digging into their wallet. And Gary Griffith, he has been replaced. And in comes, well, I'll tell you who came in just a second, as soon as I get my bearings, but they've made a change. So the young Griffith,
this could be trouble.
Not having an impact, but an impact could be had here. Poon Lewis is up to the challenge.
Well, it has been a very difficult afternoon for all the offensive players, sir. Real Westport United. I think he could have really shaken a hat there and make a change. All of it's down to, again, keep harping on it, the decision making. How, when they get into their advanced positions, what do they do with the football? And I think those decisions have really hampered Real Westford tonight as police hunt for more.
Well, they're in search of some luck. Oh, well, didn't need much luck there. But he has won a corner. Took a deflection. Looked dangerous with that shot. Freitas, he's seen 4 goals go in. He's not been on the end of any of them. Tried his fortune. Well, how close was that? Not very, but it did look good. More rain. And is there to be more goals? Nanton. Tried to pick out Bailey. Away by Westwood. Picked up by the police. Well cut out. Gets Samuel going, but can't get it past Gabriel. It's a foot chase here. Freitas. It's done well, Freitas. Keeps it alive. Here's Bailey. Quick feet. Picks out Belgrave. Finding more and more space, particularly in wide areas. Nanton.
It's a good pass.
Space opening up here. And he get a good service in, and the flag goes up, quite belatedly so.
It's a lot better from police. Of course, now that they're 4 goals up, they're showing the confidence that I thought they should have shown when they were 0-0. You've got to possess the football and stretch the team, pull them apart, find your openings. They were unwilling to do that. But of course, now that the game is opened up, we're seeing the quality.
Here's Jabari Mitchell. Gabriel, he's not been timid to advance in this second period. Loves getting forward, the fullback. Bailey. Belgrave.
It's much better.
Purcell. Got his good ball into Nanton. Not the best touch. Took away the opportunity from him. Well, police might try to use the opportunity to make a change. And I think the referee might signal it anytime now. He's looking across at the 4th official, and he has decided to go to the bench. And Chevon McPhee seems to be the man coming in. And it's the end of the evening for defender Elijah Belgrave as Chevon McPhee gets his first run out of the evening. It seems Brent Sancho, like he might have gone to 3 at the back.
Yeah, they look like they've changed that approach. Certainly McPhee, a player that can play out wide. But certainly an opportunity here for Coach Hood to freshen things up a bit. There's a lot of comfort there in that 4-0 scoreline. And it's not just a scoreline, James. It's also, you haven't really seen much from Real Westford United from an attacking perspective. It's a bit unfortunate, particularly with the type of players that they have within their personnel.
Well, what we have seen them threatened from set pieces as Jabari Mitchell floats another one in. One that Walker is grateful to head away. And can they get Karen Cummings going?
It's a good ball.
That's
It's got to finish. It's got to finish.
Gotten past the goalkeeper and has it gone in. Wow. He is looking at that net and asking, where did that pass? Did everything right. Got past the goalkeeper. And it just couldn't sneak in. But what a chance for Westport. And it's a chance created by the substitute.
This was all about that delicious pass there by Karen Cummings. A hefty first touch. Resulted, of course, in the ball going wide. Should have done better there. Certainly found himself in the right position.
But I think he was in 2 minds there because he seemed to just allow it to perhaps go in, and Well, the roll of the ball didn't quite favor that, as Westford just used the opportunity to make a quick change themselves. But first they've got to defend as Freitas motors forward. Here's Nanton. Another one of those driving runs from him, opens it up for Freitas.
It's a good ball.
Searching at the back post. Have a second bite, but Poon Lois is there. Well, just out of your picture, there was a change made by Real Westport as O.C. Charles came in. Well, this is one for Hutchinson. He controls well. Gets Jem Lewis going. Well cut out. Can Bailey have a go? Can't get past Cornel Thomas. He's been solid as a rock all evening, Thomas. Couldn't pick out Samuel as intended target. And wow, couldn't find space to motor one forward there.
They're getting sloppy.
Chance opening up. Here's Freitas. Looking for number 5 for Police maybe. Gabriel in on the act. Oh, that's a good ball from Gabriel.
They're queuing up.
Chance to open up the scoring, and well, it's a chance not taken. Certainly had the lottery ticket. And Jabari Mitchell, for all of his international experience, he thought he would have done better.
Yeah, it's starting to get a bit out of control from a Real Westport perspective, James. There seems to be 6s and 7s at the back here. You have to wonder now, are they going to allow Police to, of course, make this a blowout?
Oh, here they go, Joseph versus Gabriel. And Sean De Silva in on the act. Looking for space. Running out of real estate really quickly. And that's good defending by Bailey. So he's certainly been one of the unsung heroes of the evening for Police FC. One of those quiet players that fades into the game, but he's quite efficient at doing what he does well.
I think both him and Nanton complement each other very well. Seem to have a good understanding, interchangeable between the 6 and 8. Very fluid in their approach. And as you rightfully said, he's one of those that I'm sure you may not have caught the eye during this, but if he's not there, you will know. That's for sure.
4-0 as we just get past the hour mark. And well, the changes are being made for Westford as they go in search of more. Police have to defend though. So Gabriel Nanton, his evening has come to an end.
That's a good shot. That's got to be a finish. He's offside.
Well, certainly unlucky from West End perspective. Twice they've come close and denied by the geography and denied by the referee's whistle on the second attempt. Warning bells for Police though. They've been pretty tidy until this moment. So they'll tussle for this one. It's won by the grey shirts. Broken up by Cornel Thomas. Here's Samuel running into danger. Jabari Mitchell, good defending from Kieran Cummings, again forced to come deep, and he's trying his luck, and was worth the effort. Needed more to beat Fonset. Broken up by Creed. Gabriel with the quick feet. Evades Samuels. Here's Gabriel. Cordell Samuels, can he make something happen now? Gets Cummings going forward. Pelting bodies forward.
That's a good ball.
Almost picked out Sean De Silva. It's the second bite of the cherry. And well, it's forced Fonset to try to hold on. It's quite slippery, but he did well on the second attempt. But those are the positions that you'd like to see Kieran Cummings in.
Well, he's played a lot more advanced in the second half. The only issue is that he hasn't really had much to aim for.
Well, the one time that Corny Thomas is beaten, legally so, pushed around as police make yet another change, and Zion McLeod comes in. Not afraid to change things, police. They feel confident that they've got this game in the bag. Here's Westford into Cummings. Well, nice chest. And, well, he certainly prepared the buffet option. It's not well accepted, though, by the attacker.
It's a good tackle.
Zion gets in on the act. McLeod as Gabriel switches the point of attack for police. And they go forward now. Police have been forced to retreat in the last few minutes. Hutchinson. Here's McLeod. He's a brave boy. And the shot maybe just too far out. Cummings. Certainly been the best Westford player. Hasn't had the kind of support that he might have expected. And well, he's been one of the better ones to police. Bailey as well. Gabriel. Cut out by Thomas. Can Bailey get Hutchinson going forward? Always second favorite to that one, but that man doesn't mind. Richard Hood, former TNT women's coach. Also coached at the youth level for Trinidad and Tobago. Also a certified coaching instructor, Richard Hood. Chances opening up for police. Jem Gordon certainly showed some of his happy feet. And that is well cut out by police. But there's an urgency about the way that Westford are playing now. Substitute sparking some life into the team in green. Well, they normally call that one on the radio and say man down, police. Well, they've got two. Calling for backup. Both Bailey and Freitas going into a heavy challenge, and well, the referee deciding that naughty boys get the naughty treatment. The yellow card comes out.
That's a fair one. We've seen a lot of nibbles and knocks throughout the game. And the referee Nikolai is he's been generous at best part. Certainly didn't allow this one. It's a 2-for-1 special.
I've often seen those with Royalians and Caribbean, the rugby teams in Trinidad and Tobago. 4-0, police lead Real Westford. Just about 22 minutes remaining. Don't forget, at 8 p.m., the home team Terminix La Hocketa Rangers, they come up against Central Soccer World Should be a very exciting match. Rangers on top of the Ascension tournament table. Last win an 11-1 thrashing or 11-2 thrashing of Moruga FC. This game certainly hasn't disappointed in terms of goal. 4 scored, albeit by one team.
Yeah, where it lacked in quality, it certainly made up for it in goal-scoring activity. And of course, some of these challenges as well have been quite meaty.
I'm surprised to hear you say that, Brent Sancho. You seem to enjoy a good tackle.
Well, I've been told that I have to be partial in my approach, despite my joy of the meaty challenge. Meaty but fair, I must say, James.
Well, the rhythm section is in high gear. The bleachers already packed to capacity here in La Hogueta. Certainly has been one of the venues that have attracted the crowds. Samuel.
That's a bit too much on it.
Well, he gets an A for effort in terms of the attempt to keep it in. The execution, however, slower down the alphabet.
Well, yeah, and that has been the Achilles heel for Real Westford, the execution, decision-making, as we see, despite the inclement weather here in La Hogueta. Certainly the fans here are enjoying this Ascension tournament. I am.
Certainly has been a thrill to football fans here in Trinidad and Tobago. After being starved of almost no football action for the last 2 years, and happy to come out on a Friday evening and a weekend to take in matches and maybe see more goals. It's good defending.
Yeah, he read it well, Walker. And eventually he was able to usher it over the line. It's been tough going for both him and Cornel back there. The movement, the guile, the pace, and of course the direct approach by the police front three. I'd even throw that man Mitchell and Nanton involved in that attacking prowess for police. Have caused no end of danger for the Real Westford United back four. And of course that man there in goal as well.
For all the goals they've conceded, certainly been one of the better players, Spoon Lewis. Mitchell.
It's a good ball.
And again, Walker rises to the occasion. McLeod thumps it back into the area. Oh, he's done well there on
He's got to hold on to it.
Well, he's done well on the second attempt, Poon Lewis. A diminutive figure, but certainly a brave one. And again, we just spoke about him hardly being at fault. In fact, I don't think he's been at fault for any of the goals that they've conceded.
He's been brave, James. He's been brave in coming out of his goal. He's been brave in, of course, making sure he gets both hands behind the ball. And in these types of conditions, we've seen on many occasions in this sport where goalkeepers could really struggle, and he's been sure.
Well, that is cut out. He's claiming handball. Advantage continues for Westford. Well, they're a new team, Westford. Built up in the western peninsula of Trinidad and Tobago. Majority of the players coming from the Diego Martin, Carenage, Cocorite area. It's a new club, only formed about 2 years ago, and well, that came 2 inches away from settling into the far corner, and has been the story of their second half so far.
Well, it certainly has been better than the first half, but still not enough to disturb police. And again, I think when you look back at this one from a real Westford United perspective, they certainly should have been showing a lot more quality in the attacking third. And it has nothing to do necessarily with the type of players, but more, as I said, the decision making, how they approached it. It's just not enough to trouble the Police FC outfit.
He's had a tidy evening. They've had a rough one. Adrian Fonset, talented goalkeeper, did recover from a potentially career-threatening injury in his youth days, and he's returned well. He's stapled with the Trinidad and Tobago national team. Well, he had some fun there, slipping and sliding Freitas. Wasn't successful in keeping possession, as it's with police, with Westford. Here's Jem Gordon. Bailey, just love Bailey.
He's done well.
So neat, Bailey. And he's opened up some space here, and a chance for police to get goal number 6. Well, he's kept it alive, and oh goodness, that is the moment of the match. Without a doubt, Poon Lewis. Well, I was about to talk about his save that he made earlier, but I think that trumps them all. A save from, is that 1 feet out?
Well, there was a lot of to-ing and fro-ing, and I tell you what, that's as instinctive as you get. Just stuck a hand out, tipped it over the bar. Could have easily been 5-0.
Should have been 5-0. Still can be. You've got a corner to defend. 15 minutes remaining in this match. He's already gotten 2 goals, Jabari Mitchell. Can he share the wealth? Not this time. West End. Can they get something? Well, he's a praying man, certainly. Fortunately, not all prayers get answered. Not from that distance, anyway.
Well, it's as a commentator, sometimes it's very good when you get examples of what you've been speaking about all game. Decision making. Not sure what he was thinking shooting from that distance. He had options out left and decided to go for glory. Well, I wouldn't even call it glory. It's too far out for that even. It's a poor decision, really.
Well, here's a good decision as Jem Gordon gets in and has a shot, and again Poon Lewis. It's been really good, Poon Lewis. I feel sorry for goalkeepers when they have a good evening, but big score lines against their name. Here's McLeod. Mitchell. Back to Mitchell. Bailey. Does he remind you of any particular player, Brent Sancho, Bailey?
I shudder to guess, but I'm sure once you say it, I would totally agree with you.
I don't want to say the name, but you know I'm going. Oh, that's close.
Should I suggest Manchester United fans may know better than I do?
Well, that is an option as well. Cummings. He's done well to hold off Gabriel. Good service in the area, could open something up. Sean De Silva, he can have a go, does have a go. And well, I'm sure Fonset was happy when he looked back and he didn't see his net bulging. But he certainly came close, Sean De Silva.
Again, we talked a lot about the quality that real Westford United have going forward. And one of those options is that man there, Sean De Silva. One of the better technicians that we have in this country. Showing all his glory there. Just inches away from beating Fonset. I'm not sure he would have gotten there, James, despite his valiant effort in getting across the goal. But again, an opportunity that came about as we see Coach Ron Lafferty certainly has to go back to the drawing board.
Well, they're in 6th position at the moment, 4 points to their name. Only one encounter against Maruga FC, who are at the bottom of the standings. Won that game 1-0, by the way. Cummings thought about shooting or releasing Cordell Samuel. And wow, seed possession. Searching, and might have been fouled, the defender. Referee allows play to continue. Again, Bailey.
Just can't put a foot wrong, can he?
And the flag stays down now. It's finally gone up, but Poon Lewis taking no chances. I'm not quite sure why there's a confrontation going on with Jem Gordon and the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper did what you expect goalkeepers to do in that situation. It's not the least bit intimidated though, Poon Lewis, as Gordon has to be escorted away by Walker. Gordon, of course, the former W Connection man, comes from the island of Tobago.
Also had a stint at Central FC.
Certainly did. Easy for Fonset. Away by Walker. Just 10 minutes to go in this match. We've certainly seen some moments in this match, Brent Sancho. Valiant moments.
Yeah, it has been a very intriguing encounter, despite the fact, as I said, the quality is not there yet in some of the play.
Well, Walker deflected away from him and, well, he's found his own teammate and he's given away a corner. Well, we spoke about moments of the match. Here's our Sports Max app moment. And, well, Brent Sancho, I'm sure everybody's guess is exactly the same. And again, that man, Poon Lewis, with the instinctive fingertip save. And he's our Sports Max app moment. What a moment that was. I'm sure all goalkeepers, myself included, would have been delighted to see that. He's got more danger coming his way. Away by De Silva. Samuel. That's going to be pulled back by the official, as Gabriel is protesting that they deserve to have that one, and seems that he has the blessings of the referee. Cummings. Creed. Fouled Creed. Comes from a well-known family of Creeds here in Trinidad and Tobago. His uncle Ashwin Creed, former chairman of the sport company of Trinidad and Tobago. His father also a former player. Clock ticking down on the hopes and aspirations of Real Westport. Consolation might be a nice gift to their supporters back in Diego Martin. Into Samuel. Well, he might have gotten a touch for Fonset, and Cummings tried his luck. Couldn't penetrate the wall of grey shirts ahead of him, but he does win a corner.
Not sure if Fonset would have gotten back on the line to save that one. It had on target written on it.
Cummings. Good looking service. Fortunately couldn't find a green shirt. Walker gets up, and away. He's been pretty solid in the air, Walker. Had a handful of appearances for FC Dallas. He, in fact, he scored in the CONCACAF Champions League for them. That goal coming against Club America, the Mexican team. Certainly was a star at the collegiate level. Played 69 of 71 appearances for his college, Michigan O'Farley Dickinson University. Oh, that's good skill there. opening some doors, and well, chance is gone. Cummings.
That's good stuff.
Cordell Samuels is off to the races.
He's gonna do really well if he gets past Keely and Gabriel for pace.
Struggled, but they still keep it alive though. And the Cummings can't get past Jabari Mitchell, who I think is our player of the match, by the way.
Yeah, I will agree with that one, James. Of course, 2 goals from that man. But more importantly, I think his performance tonight and what it meant to Police FC, both him and Nanton and Bailey, that 3 in the middle have been certainly outstanding. He broke in lines going forward, always willing to get in behind the Real Westport line of defence. I think he was sensible as well. Sensible in his possession. And as I mentioned, of course, 2 goals to the good from Mitchell. Certainly showed a lot of quality in a game that lacked.
Certainly. Stood out like Santa Claus at Easter time. Well, speaking of Easter, it's Good Friday here in Trinidad and Tobago. Holiday time, and looking forward to a long Easter weekend. We've certainly got lots of action here on Sportsmax for the weekend. I'll tell you about some of those later on as Onset again cleans up. Of course, at 8 p.m. this evening, we've got our main matchup as the home team terminates La Hocketa Rangers. They will line themselves up against Central Soccer World. So that's the feature game here this evening. Well, on Monday at the Arima Velodrome, but before Monday, on Sunday at the St. James Police Barracks, Deportivo Point Fortin will take on Central FC. And on Monday, Maruga FC face Cunupia FC at the Arima Velodrome, and AC Port of Spain, they take on the Defense Force.
Well, of course, it must be noted that the shift in the fixture from Saturday, James, because of the cycling in Arima Velodrome, something I, as a kid, went to. A long-standing tradition here in Trinidad and Tobago, cycling at the Velodrome.
Easter Grand Prix.
Easter Grand Prix, like
Nicholas Paul, I think he might be there. Jacine Phillip is also going to be in there as well. Well, it's an opportunity now to make one final change as Freitas has this evening called a halt, and he will be replaced by Dylan Curtin. Gets the final few minutes to stretch his legs. Oh, wow. A bit sloppy there from Police, but they get away as Westport look to mount yet another attack. Creed looking for Cummings. This one is booted far away to safety. And how in the world did Cummings get on that side again? Seems to be everywhere. Cummings tries a shot, and you're not going to beat international goalkeeper from that distance, so that angle. And that's, of course, here, David Beckham. He has a movie about him, David Beckham. It's not one of the most common articles.
the forever brand, David Beckham.
Had an opportunity to meet him several years ago when he did visit Trinidad and Tobago ahead of England's World Cup bid. I don't know the end result of that story. Hello, Qatar.
Well, at least David got an opportunity to enjoy the sunshine. Maybe some doubles and roti, Trinidad style.
You would have met him firsthand back in 2006.
Certainly did. Tremendous talent and, of course, technician on the ball. It's very rare you see a player that is so gifted with the various range of passing that he has.
Well, here's Bailey looking to show his gifting. Not on this occasion. Chance opening up for Sean De Silva here. Oh, that's a good ball. And Cummings, well, he's He's looking for the run of the player coming in. Can Police put one final nail in the coffin? Chance opening up. Looking to swing one in. This one is booted away. Here's Cummings.
Yeah, it's offside there. I think Cummings did everything in his power to make sure that he held his line and eventually straight offside. Really no reason there to be offside. Should have allowed for, of course, Cummings to dictate, but again, it comes back to decision making. And that has been, of course,
a recurring theme.
The recurring theme for especially for Real Westport United. There's no doubt there's talent within the squad.
Oh, that's a good turn from Jem. Cut out and, well, couldn't keep it. The Lawmen, one final raid as regulation time comes to an end. So 3 minutes will be added on in this match. Three minutes. Police holding on to their 4-0 advantage. Well, he still wants more. Richard Hood, the coach of the Police team, doesn't want his team to become complacent despite their advantage. So Jabari Mitchell, our irrefutable man of the match, will take the corner kick that could be one of the last bit of actions in this match. Well, quite content to keep it in the corner. That's poor. And Westport are quite content to give it away near the area. And, well, Cummings had to come to the rescue. He's had a resilient evening.
Well, I think when Coach Ron looks back at this professor, he would look at the moments where Real Fort United may have slipped up. And I think this game was defined on those moments, the two penalties in particular, and decision making for those penalties. And that's really where Real Westport United lost this game. And we're talking about goals going into the net and not necessarily the chances that they didn't take on the other side. Well, they didn't create them because, again, the decisions weren't at its best.
Well, Sean De Silva can give them something to smile of. And, well, we'll have to hold on that smile. Is this the last bit of action in this match? Into the final minute of the time added on. Barry Mitchell could mount something for Police. But Cornel Thomas, well, often have we seen him produce those janitorial services. He's cleaned up everything that has come at him. Has been, as you mentioned, Brent Sancho, a culmination of errors in the match that perhaps took the advantage away from Westport, took the fighting spirit out of them. 2 goals in quick succession in the first half, 23rd and 26th minute. Penalties and, well, rest, as they say, is history. He's had a decent evening, Kadian Gabriel.
Really a game based on moments, and those moments that you just mentioned is what has been the platform for victory here for Police FC. don't think they played particularly great. They weren't outstanding by any stretch, certainly by what they're capable of doing. But that being said, the moments went their way, and a lot of it is what they created for themselves.
Well, this is a moment that the match comes to an end as Police FC, they take a commanding 4-0 win over Real Westport. And what a performance from the Lawmen and Richard Hood. He certainly would be the happier of the two coaches. Mikel Jem Gordon, one of the star performers. Real Westport, lots to consider. 4-0 Police over Real Westport. Well, in a minute, we'll see some of the first half highlights. And Brent Sancho will also be on the ground, speaking to our man of the match as chances opened up early. And this one, Elijah Belgrave just couldn't convert the Jabari Mitchell service. Then more from Police as they probed, and this time Jem Gordon taken out. Referee Nyron pointing to the spot. Up steps Nanton, and it's 1-0. That was in the 23rd minute. Just 3 minutes later, Nanton on a probing run, and his pass sees Freitas knocked over. And again, the referee pointing to the spot. This time, Jabari Mitchell getting the first of his 2 goals on the evening. Nothing Poon Lewis could do to stop that one. And Police were 2-0 ahead in the 26th minute. Westport did have a few moments of their own. This perhaps the best of them. Not pinning the donkey's tail on that occasion. And, well, Bailey outstanding in the middle, getting a shot away. Poon Lewis up to the task. But then it was the turn of the central defender, Cameron Purcell, to get his name on the score sheet in the 42nd minute. And just look at the celebrations. So 3-0 at halftime. Was there to be more from the Lawmen? Jabari Mitchell certainly thought so as he huffed and puffed. That one taking a deflection. On the opposite end, Griffith Jr. putting this service in. And perhaps the story of the second half for Westport. And then Jem Gordon creating a chance. And how about that for the buffet being messed up? Certainly put on a platter. And then Hutchinson, the defender, taking a deflection. And Jabari Mitchell getting his second of the evening. On the opposite end, Karen Cummings pushed high into the attack. Created perhaps the best moment for Westport. And the upright just coming to the rescue. More from Police. And Poon Lewis. How many times did we see him pull out spectacular saves? And this one perhaps the best of those saves. How about that from close range? Perhaps the moment of the match. Certainly wasn't short of action as Sean De Silva got in on the act later on. And that one just missing the mark. And the Police, as you saw, 19 shots going to Police, 12 of those on target. Real Westport, not to be left behind, they did get 10 shots, half of those on target. But in the end, Police FC taking the 4-0 win over Real Westport. Well, I'll tell you what, so I've got Brent Sancho standing by, and he's got our man of the match, Jabari Mitchell.
Yes, and we're joined tonight now by tonight's man of the match, Jabari Mitchell. Of course, Jabari, a positive result last Sunday against Canupia FC. A positive result here again tonight. It's Police FC on the ascendancy, of course, challenging for the Ascension trophy.
Police FC is getting better. We're playing the football we want to play, and that's very important for us, but we're thankful for the 3 points as well.
Well, of course, a commanding performance by yourself tonight. 2 goals to the good. A performance where we saw you breaking the lines, getting forward a lot. Is that an instruction from Coach Hood, demanding from you to get more advanced in the way that Police set up here tonight?
Yeah, definitely. A little more energy required from me, and I think I executed that tonight. I think the quality could be a little better because I think I could do a lot better, but I'm thankful for the hard work and the victory tonight, most important.
Looking forward to the next fixtures coming up. Where do you see Police moving forward and what they can improve in to go forward?
As I say, we building every game, we're doing better. I think we quality and style of play could improve.
Well, congratulations, Jabari. You are our man of the match. And of course, I'm now joined by the professor himself, Mr. Ron Lafferty,
Yes, sir.
coach of Real Fort United. Coach, of course, Professor, things tonight didn't go your way. Where do you think it went wrong?
Let me say, first of all, let me congratulate the police team, man. I enjoy police fitness. Apparently, like, police never stop training, eh? You know, they were stronger than us in all the departments of the field. I salute the police for that, right? Having said so, you see, we have a lot of work to put in still, right? It's just 3 weeks with these guys. They're still getting to know one another. So, yes, I take my punches. I will put some smell of salt on my nose, and I think we will return in it for the next game.
Well, of course, inclusion of some top-notch players coming into your side. How do you see them integrating?
Well, again, too, I want to bring in some experience with the youth and them, right? The experience. I think that the experience lack fitness also. So, given some time, you know, when I sort of blend them up together, I think it should work for us down the road.
Well, of course, Professor, again, looking forward to seeing you later on in the show. And again, congratulations on what you've done so far.
Yeah.
And I know Real Fort is going to improve as they go along.
Trust me with that one. Trust me, we will return.
Thank you very much, Professor Ron Lafferty.
Yes,
I'm now joined, of course, by tonight's winning coach, Richard Hood of Police FC. Of course, Police FC running away with today's victory. Coach Hood, again, congratulations on tonight's performance. Talk us through what you thought went right for Police FC.
I think a lot went right, actually. We were pressing the ball pretty decently. I would have liked for us to get a bit more in transition. We won a lot of balls, but we didn't finish off the transition very well. Our organization was good. I was very happy with that. All right, we are improving as we go with every game.
Yeah, of course, we saw your midfield three in Nanton, of course, Bailey, and the man of match, Barry Mitchell. Mitchell and Nanton more advanced of the play, breaking lines, getting into the box. Is that something you were hoping to see tonight?
Absolutely, and I would have liked to see it a bit more. Right? But yeah, that's what we want from our midfielders. Our number 10, our number 8, getting forward and joining the attack as much as possible, creating a nice triangulation in the middle to keep the ball and create opportunities to penetrate lines. So I'm very happy with that.
Well, again, congratulations, Coach Hood, on tonight's victory, and certainly best of luck as this tournament continues on.
Thank you very much, Brent.
So now I hand it over to the capable hands of my good friend, James Saunders.
Oh, thank you so much, Brent Sancho. Of course, speaking with Richard Hood, the coach of the winning team, Police. And of course, before that, you heard from Ron Lafferty and Jabari Mitchell. So we certainly enjoyed all of the action in this first matchup. Police FC winning 4-0 over Real Westport. We take a pause, and when we come back, we've got our second match, Terminix Ahokata Rangers. They come up against Central Soccer World.